Hi, it's Patrick from XPression, and I would like to show you the basic use of the touchscreen drawing interface for XPression Telestrate.
What you're seeing here is the interface for Telestrate. You can see on the right side I have a panel that shows me all my interface buttons and controls for my drawing tools. I have the opportunity to turn off the video input or turn it back on. I have the ability to turn on and off trace, and what that means, for example, if I choose the curve tool, which is basically a freeform tool, if I draw without trace turned on, it will appear afterwards. If I tap it again, I clear my screen. That obviously clears my screen. And I'm in the freeform tool with trace turned on. You can see I get feedback as I draw. The line is drawing itself within the XPression tools. I'm going to choose to draw a quick circle. Say I want to draw a circle around these players right here to highlight them. You can see I can do that, and maybe I want to put a square right here. Talk about where the goalie is in the box. Hear that? Maybe I even want to put an arrow to show the path of the ball to the goal. So far, makes perfect sense. Great. Questions that come up. I don't want it to be red. I want it to be yellow. If that's the case, I'm just going to go into my keyboard control here and I'm going to change it to Q. And now when I draw red, if I choose W and I draw yellow, if I choose E and draw, I'm blue. So let's go back to yellow since that seems to be the most simple color to see. Now, I come back here again. Maybe I want to highlight a play in where the play I think is going to stop. I'm going to draw a straight line right there. That's where the play is going to stop. Perfect. Makes a lot of sense. Clear. I want to do a filled circle, for example. Maybe I want to show that there's a gap right here that nobody's going to come in and fill, and the goalie is going to be on his own. What a horrible place for a goalie to be. Clear? And you kind of get the idea how we're doing this, but let's also talk about shape A and shape B. In earlier videos, we talked about custom shapes. So if I take shape A and I draw a circle, here it is. And if you remember, we had that set up as a silver chrome circle. And you can see this is an animation that is spinning. Now I'm going to do one thing here, just to point this out. I have trace turned on, so you saw me draw a yellow circle and then it turned into a silver one. This might be where I would turn trace off. So this way, when I drew my circle, that's what the viewers at home are going to see. Now the choice here that we did for shapes, offensive and defensive players, for example, I've got circle around the offensive players. You don't mean the ones that are nasty, that are controlling the ball offense. And I have shape B, which is the defense. I draw a circle around them. And you can see where I'm using custom shapes. And this one is just a static image. Nothing's happening, there's no bounce, there's no nothing going on. Okay? So we've talked about circle and ellipse. All that is gives you the ability to freeform a circle, so it doesn't have to be a perfectly round. Rectangle, same thing. Instead of having to be a perfect square, it can be just a box. And I can have them filled, or I can have them just as an outline. So that's what I've got with Telestrate.